You ever notice how some of the most dangerous health issues are the ones that stay quiet the longest? High cholesterol is the perfect example. It doesn't scream for attention like a broken bone or a raging fever. Instead, it slowly chips away at your well-being, your heart health, and your overall quality of life, often without you even realizing it. In fact, around 94 million adults in the U.S. have high cholesterol, and most have no clue. That's not just a number, that's millions of people living with a ticking time bomb inside their arteries. What makes it worse is that the early signs are so subtle, they're easy to brush off as just getting older, or probably nothing. A little fatigue here, some shortness of breath there, maybe a few body aches after climbing the stairs. People shrug it off, go on with their busy lifestyles, skip that yearly checkup, and boom, years later, they're facing serious heart problems that could have been prevented with simple steps toward better nutrition, an active lifestyle, and mindful self-care. And let's be real, between work, family, stress, and everything else life throws our way, it's easy to put our health and prevention on the back burner. But ignoring these silent signs can cost way more than a doctor's appointment. We're talking about increased risk of heart attacks, strokes, and long-term damage to your cardiovascular system. High cholesterol is sneaky, but it's not unbeatable. With the right knowledge, mindful habits, and simple lifestyle changes, you can take back control. By the end of this, you'll know exactly which symptoms you should never ignore, why they matter, and how a few smart choices can massively boost your immunity, improve your mental health, and keep your heart strong for years to come. Ready to find out what your body's been trying to tell you all along? Let's dive in. Most people expect their bodies to send loud warnings when something's wrong, but high cholesterol doesn't play by those rules. It creeps in quietly, slowly building up plaque in your arteries without causing obvious pain. That's why so many folks with high cholesterol feel perfectly fine for years. It's like driving with a tiny nail in your tire. Everything seems normal until one day it blows. This silent nature makes prevention, medicine awareness, and regular checkups absolutely crucial for long-term well-being and heart health. One of the biggest reasons these signs fly under the radar is that high cholesterol doesn't cause symptoms directly. Instead, it affects your cardiovascular system behind the scenes. Think about your arteries as flexible pipes. Over time, cholesterol buildup hardens and narrows them, slowly affecting blood flow. You won't feel that overnight. It can take years of poor nutrition, lack of exercise, chronic stress, and little to no mindfulness before your body starts whispering subtle signals like occasional dizziness, mild fatigue, or unexplained aches. And here's the tricky part. Most people chalk these whispers up to getting older or being tired from work. But ignoring these small signs can lead to major consequences. A 2023 CDC report found that only about 55% of adults with high cholesterol are actually managing it properly. That means nearly half are walking around unaware of the long-term risk to their health, immunity, and quality of life. Simple preventive medicine like regular lipid panels and honest conversations with your doctor can uncover issues way before a heart attack does. The good news? Once you know what to look for, you can catch these silent signs early. Simple actions like yearly blood tests, tracking your nutritional habits, and adopting a more balanced lifestyle can make a massive difference. It's all about shifting from a reactive mindset to a proactive one. And speaking of signs, some unexpected physical symptoms might surprise you even more. Let's unpack those next. When people think about high cholesterol, they usually picture numbers on a blood test, not physical symptoms. But the truth is, your body often tries to send quiet signals. It's just that most of us don't know what to look for. For example, fatigue, random dizziness, or even shortness of breath after light activity can be your body's way of waving a red flag. These symptoms are often dismissed as normal, especially in busy lifestyles where stress, lack of sleep, and poor nutrition are the daily routine. One unexpected symptom is xanthomas, small, yellowish bumps on the skin, usually near the eyes, elbows, or Achilles tendon. They may look harmless, but they're actually fatty deposits under the skin, a direct sign that cholesterol is circulating at unhealthy levels. People also experience tingling in the extremities, like hands or feet, because reduced blood flow from narrowed arteries can affect nerve function. It's subtle but persistent, and ignoring it can chip away at your long-term health and quality of life. Another sneaky sign is chest discomfort or slight pressure that comes and goes, not always the intense pain you see in movies. This mild discomfort can happen when your cardiovascular system is under strain, even if you haven't been diagnosed with heart disease. Think of it like a warning light on your dashboard. It's not there for decoration. Pair this with frequent headaches, blurred vision, or sudden weakness, and it's time to stop brushing things off and take your preventive health seriously. Catching these unexpected physical symptoms early can be life-changing. Imagine noticing tingling in your hands, getting checked, and preventing a heart attack years down the line. That's the power of mindfulness, regular checkups, and self-care. Recognizing these signs is the first step, but understanding how high cholesterol impacts your heart and arteries is where the real picture comes into focus. Let's break that down next. High cholesterol doesn't just sit quietly in your bloodstream. It actively reshapes what's happening inside your body. When there's too much LDL, the bad cholesterol, it starts sticking to the walls of your arteries, forming plaque. Over time, this plaque builds up and causes the arteries to narrow and harden, a process called atherosclerosis. Imagine trying to water your garden through a hose filled with gunk. The flow weakens, pressure builds, and eventually something gives. That's exactly how cholesterol silently sabotages your cardiovascular health and overall well-being. This buildup doesn't happen overnight. It's years of poor nutrition, lack of exercise, chronic stress, and neglecting preventive medicine that slowly set the stage. The narrowing arteries reduce oxygen-rich blood flow to vital organs, especially your heart. When the heart doesn't get enough oxygen, it has to work harder, leading to high blood pressure, fatigue, and a weakened cardiovascular system. Over time, this damages the delicate lining of the arteries, increasing the risk of blood clots, turning what started as just high cholesterol into a ticking time bomb. The real danger lies in the complications. Plaque can rupture suddenly, triggering the formation of a clot that blocks blood flow entirely. That's when heart attacks and strokes strike, often without warning. According to the American Heart Association, nearly 1 in 3 deaths in the U.S. are linked to heart disease, many of which trace back to unmanaged cholesterol levels. This is why focusing on prevention, mindfulness, and lifestyle balance isn't optional. It's essential for protecting your quality of life and longevity. The good news? Your arteries are incredibly resilient when you take action early. By adopting a healthy diet rich in fiber, omega-3s, and antioxidants, staying physically active, and managing stress through techniques like mindfulness or natural therapies, you can actually stabilize plaque and improve blood flow. Understanding this impact is key, but knowing when an act is just as crucial. So, how do you recognize when it's time for a professional checkup? Let's talk about that next. There's a fine line between everyday fatigue and warning signs your body's throwing at you, and learning to spot it can literally save your life. If you're experiencing frequent shortness of breath, unexplained chest tightness, or persistent tingling in your extremities, don't just chalk it up to stress or aging. These can be your body's way of saying, hey, something's off. Regular checkups are like tune-ups for your car. They catch issues early before they turn into major repairs, protecting your heart health, immunity, and overall well-being. One major red flag is family history. If heart disease or high cholesterol runs in your family, you're at a higher risk, even if you feel perfectly fine. That's why preventive medicine matters so much. Getting your cholesterol levels checked at least once every 4 to 6 years, or more often if you have risk factors, is crucial. Many people delay these appointments out of fear, denial, or busy schedules, but those few minutes in a lab can reveal years' worth of hidden information about your cardiovascular health and quality of life. Other signs that shouldn't be ignored include frequent headaches, blurry vision, unexplained dizziness, and sudden weakness. These might seem unrelated to cholesterol, but they're often linked to reduced blood flow from narrowed arteries. Some people even notice yellowish skin deposits, irregular heartbeat, or cold hands and feet. When these subtle clues pile up, it's not a coincidence. It's your body waving a giant caution flag. Acting on them early can mean the difference between minor lifestyle tweaks and major medical interventions. The empowering part? Taking charge of your health doesn't have to be complicated. Scheduling a simple blood test, practicing mindfulness to tune into your body's cues, and embracing an active lifestyle are powerful steps. Checkups aren't just for when something feels wrong. They're a form of self-care, disease prevention, and a commitment to long-term vitality. And the best part? You have more control over your cholesterol than you might think. Let's talk about the simple, practical lifestyle changes that can make a lasting difference. Here's the thing. Keeping your cholesterol in check doesn't have to feel like climbing a mountain. In fact, some of the most effective strategies are surprisingly simple. Start with your nutrition. Cutting back on processed foods, sugary snacks, and trans fats can make a huge difference. Swap that morning donut for oatmeal with berries and chia seeds, or trade fried foods for grilled fish rich in omega-3s. Over time, these small shifts support heart health, boost immunity, and improve your overall quality of life. Next, let's talk exercise. And no, it doesn't have to mean hours in the gym. Just 30 minutes of moderate activity like brisk walking, cycling, or dancing 5 days a week can significantly lower LDL, bad cholesterol, and raise HDL, good cholesterol. The key is consistency, not perfection. Think of movement as medicine. It's one of the most powerful tools you have for disease prevention, stress reduction, and better mental health. Plus, it improves sleep quality, which plays a huge role in keeping your body balanced. Don't underestimate the power of stress management either. Chronic stress can trigger inflammation and unhealthy habits that worsen cholesterol levels. Techniques like mindfulness, meditation, deep breathing, or even spending time in nature can lower cortisol and support emotional health. One simple example. Just 10 minutes of mindful breathing per day can calm your nervous system, helping your cardiovascular system function more efficiently. Over time, that translates to better longevity and well-being. Finally, embrace regular checkups and preventive care as part of your lifestyle, not just something you do when you're sick. Think of it as ongoing maintenance, like keeping your car tuned up so it runs smoothly for years. When you combine balanced eating, an active lifestyle, stress reduction, and medical mindfulness, you build a foundation that keeps your cholesterol and overall health in harmony. And now that you've learned these powerful strategies, it's time to bring everything full circle. High cholesterol may be silent, but now you know how to make sure it never sneaks up on you again. Remember those subtle signs, the fatigue, the shortness of breath, the tiny changes your body whispers? They're not random. They're signals that your heart and arteries are craving your attention. And the best part? You already have the tools to protect your well-being, boost your immunity, and build a strong foundation for long-term health. Think about it. What would your life look like if you fully committed to preventive care, balanced nutrition, regular exercise, and genuine self-care? Imagine more energy, better sleep, stronger mental health, and the peace of mind that comes with knowing your heart's in good shape. Are you ready to take that first real step toward a healthier lifestyle? Or will you keep waiting for louder warning bells? Your future self is counting on the choices you make today. Start by applying even one of these strategies and watch how your quality of life transforms. And hey, this isn't just about cholesterol. It's about creating a life filled with balance, vitality, and emotional strength. So, what's the first change you're going to make? Backhand index pointing right, hit that subscribe button and turn on notifications so you never miss powerful tips that could transform your health forever. Your journey to a stronger heart and a more vibrant life starts right here.